I had been planning it for weeks. I was supposed to go see my son play basketball. I had missed 4 games now, and by the afternoon, I had to text him and say, Papas, I'm sorry I can't make it to the game tonight. Grandma needs me. I knew he had read it because it was those 3 little dots like he was waiting, like he was going to respond. But it was a delayed response, and what he wrote was, It's okay, Mom, I understand. But I know that hurt him because he wanted me to go see him play. But I told myself I didn't have a choice. Mom needed me. The appointments, the medications, the constant supervision, it all fell on me. What I didn't realize was that I was running on empty. I wasn't sleeping more than 2 hours at nighttime. I was irritable with everyone. I kept telling myself, this is just what caregiving looks like. This is what you signed up for. But you know what? I was wrong. Dead wrong. And sometimes God has to let us hit a wall before we finally listen. Welcome to season 2 of Navigating Senior Care with Stella. I'm Stella Williams, a U.S. Army Airborne Paratrooper, Senior Transition and Care Navigation Advocate, and founder of Williams Senior Transition Services here in Central Texas. If you're new here, welcome. I help families across Austin, Travis County, Williamson County, Hayes County, from San Marcos to Pflugerville and the surrounding areas find the right senior living community for their loved ones. My services are completely free to families. I'm bilingual, English and Spanish, and I've been doing this work for over a decade. But I'm also a caregiver myself. My mom, Oralia, lives with me. I coordinate her team, manage her appointments, and try to be everything to everyone. Season 1, we covered the basics of senior care, understanding options, making decisions, navigating costs. Season 2, we're going deeper into the messy, complicated, real parts of this journey that nobody warns you about. And we're starting with something I'm living through right now, caregiver burnout. How to recognize it before you completely fall apart? Because trust me, by the time you realize you're burned out, you've already been running on fumes for months. God gives us warning signs, we just have to stop ignoring them. Let me be real with you from the jump. Burnout isn't just being tired, it's not having a rough week or feeling overwhelmed sometimes. Burnout is when your body, your mind, and your spirit are completely tapped out. And the dangerous part, it sneaks up on you. You don't wake up one morning burned out. It builds up over weeks and months while you keep pushing through, telling yourself you're fine. The 3 dimensions of burnout: physical exhaustion. Your body starts breaking down. You're getting sick all the time, headaches that won't quit. Your back is killing you, stomach problems, and sleep. Even when you have a chance to rest, you can't. Your body's running on fumes, and no amount of coffee is helping anymore. And then you have the emotional exhaustion. This one hit me hard. You start feeling nothing. I used to cry when things got overwhelming. Now I just stare at the wall. You feel disconnected from your parent, from your kids, from yourself, even from God sometimes. And then comes the resentment. You start feeling angry at the person you're caring for, and then you feel guilty for feeling that way. It's a vicious cycle. Then there's a mental exhaustion. Brain fog is real. I forget things constantly. I can't focus on conversations. Every decision feels impossible, even simple stuff. My mind is just mush. Why caregivers are at high risk? The statistics are staggering, and they're backed by real research from organizations like the Family Caregiver Alliance and AARP. 40 to 70% of family caregivers show clinically significant symptoms of depression. And caregivers have a 63% higher mortality rate than non-caregivers. Then there's 23% of caregivers report their own health as fair to poor. Caregivers spend approximately 8.5 fewer hours per week on their own health than non-caregivers. Female caregivers aged 55 to 69 who provide 9 plus hours of care per week have nearly twice the risk of coronary heart disease compared to non-caregivers. Caregivers are twice as likely as non-caregivers to report symptoms of anxiety and depression. These aren't just numbers. These are real people, real families, real lives being impacted. And I see it every week working with families across Austin and Central Texas. And here's what nobody tells you: you can love the person you're caring for with your whole heart and still burn out. Love doesn't make you immune to exhaustion. The danger of normalizing it. I hear this all the time from caregivers. Well, this is how it is now. I signed up for this. Mom took care of me when I was young, so I owe her this. Listen to me. You do not owe anyone your complete physical and mental breakdown. God didn't call us to destroy ourselves. He called us to be good stewards of the bodies and lives He gave us. Caregiving requires sacrifice, yes, but martyrdom isn't the goal. My mom wouldn't want me destroying myself, and I know God doesn't want that either. Even Jesus took a break. He went off by himself to pray and rest. If Jesus needed downtime, what makes us think we don't? So, how do you know if you're dealing with normal caregiver stress versus actual burnout? Let me walk you through the warning signs, and I want you to be honest with yourself as we go through these. Physical warning signs. You're getting sick frequently, colds, infections, anything going around. You have unexplained aches and pains. You've gained or lost significant weight without trying. You're not sleeping, or you're sleeping too much and still exhausted. You're relying on substance to cope, like alcohol, prescription medications, even excessive caffeine. Your blood pressure is up. Your doctor is concerned, but you're not addressing it. According to the National Alliance for Caregiving, 50%, 53% of caregivers indicate that their caregiving situation has made their health worse, and 17% report that their health is fair or poor. Your emotional warning signs. You feel irritable and short tempered, especially with your loved ones. You cry easily, or alternatively, you can't cry at all. You feel hopeless, like nothing will ever get better. You feel resentful toward the person you're caring for. You're isolating yourself, avoiding friends, skipping church, uh, missing family events. You've lost interest in things that you enjoy. You fantasize about running away or something happening so you don't have to do this anymore. The last one is hard to admit, but if you're having those thoughts, you're not a bad person. You're a person in crisis who needs help. God sees you, He knows, and He's not disappointed in you for struggling. The behavioral warning signs: you're forgetting appointments, medications, important tasks. You're making more mistakes than usual. You're withdrawing from support systems. You're snapping at people who offer help. You stop taking care of yourself, skipping showers, not eating properly, not going to your own doctor appointments. You're overreacting to minor problems. Think about that. Is that you? Here's a cognitive warning signs: you can't focus on or concentrate. You're making poor decisions. You're having trouble remembering things. Everything feels overwhelming, even simple tasks. You can't think clearly or solve problems like you used to. Here's the I'm fine trap. Here's what I see constantly. Caregivers who are clearly burning out but insist they're fine. They say everyone else has it worse. Other people manage. Stop comparing your struggle to others. God gave you your life, your capacity, your circumstances, not someone else's. Your experience is valid. Your exhaustion is real. When it becomes dangerous, burnout doesn't make you miserable, it actually becomes dangerous for you and for the person that you're caring for. Studies show that caregiver stress is associated with 46% higher likelihood of being diagnosed with a chronic disease, a weakened immune system function, slower wound healing, higher levels of inflammatory markers in the blood, and increased risk of cardiovascular disease. When you're burned out, you're more likely to take medication errors. You might miss important health changes in your loved one. You're at higher risk for depression, anxiety, even suicidal thoughts. Your own health deteriorates, which could leave your loved one without a caregiver at all. You might reach a breaking point where you act in ways you'll regret. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to wake you up, because recognizing burnout early means you can do something about it before it destroys you. God didn't bring you this far to let you fall apart now. Okay, so let's say you're listening to this and you're thinking, that's me. I'm burning out. What do you do now? Well, first, don't panic and don't feel guilty. Burnout doesn't mean you're failing or that your faith is weak. It means you're human. Here's some immediate steps. One, acknowledge it out loud. Tell someone, say the words, I think I'm burning out. Tell your pastor, your spouse, your sibling, your best friend, your doctor. Just saying it out loud removes some of the shame and starts the process of getting help. I had to tell my son, Papa's mama's struggling. That was hard, but he needed to know why I kept canceling on him, and I needed to stop pretending everything was fine. Number two, get a health check. Make an appointment with your doctor. Tell them that you're a caregiver and you're experiencing burnout symptoms. Get your blood pressure checked, get labs done, address any health issues that have been piling up. You cannot pour from an empty cup and you cannot care for someone else if you're falling apart. Actually, speaking of which, I need to practice what I'm preaching. I had what felt like a heart attack a few months ago. Might have been an anxiety attack. I don't know, but I had to see a cardiologist and take some tests. I had been putting it off because mom needs me, but that's exactly the kind of thinking that could get me killed. God gave me this body, I need to take care of it. Number three, ask for help. Specifically, don't just say, I need help. People don't know what that means. Be specific. For example, can you take mom to her doctor appointment on Thursday? Can you stay with mom Saturday afternoon so I can take a nap? Can you pick up groceries for me this week? Specific requests gets results. Vague pleas for help get sympathy but no action. Research shows that caregivers who have adequate support have significantly lower rate of depression and anxiety. But you have to actually ask for and accept that support. Number four, set one boundary. Just one. You don't have to overhaul your entire life today. Pick one thing you're going to stop doing to start protecting you. I'm not answering phone calls after 9 p.m. Sunday mornings are for church and rest. I'm not attending every single doctor appointment. My siblings can handle some. Start small, protect the boundary fiercely. Even God rested on the seventh day. If the creator of the universe took a break, maybe we should too. Number five, give yourself permission to rest. This is not optional. Rest is not selfish. Rest is biblical. Rest is survival. Even if it's 20 minutes of sitting before you go inside, even if it means going to bed at 8 p.m., even if it means hiring someone for a few hours so you can sleep. Jesus said, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. He didn't say, tough it out until you collapse. Medium term strategies. Respite care. This is temporary care for your loved ones so you can take a break. It can be a few hours, a few days, or even a couple of weeks. Many communities offer respite care. Some insurance cover it, some nonprofits provide it at a low or no cost. In Central Texas, you can contact the Area Agency on Aging of the Capital Area at 1-800-252-9240. Local adult daycare programs, in-home care agencies, and faith-based organizations. If you're in Austin, Travis County, Williamson County, Hayes County, these resources are available to you. According to research, caregivers who use respite care report significantly lower stress levels and better health outcomes. Do not feel guilty for needing this. Respite care is essential, not optional. Therapy or counseling. There are therapists who specialize in caregiver stress. Many offer telehealth, some offer sliding scale fees. Your mental health is as important as your physical health. Studies show that caregivers who participate in counseling or support programs experience reduced depression and improved coping skills. If you're a veteran like me, the VA offers caregiver support programs and mental health services. Support groups. Connecting with other caregivers who understand what you're going through can be life changing. You're not alone in this, even when it feels like you are. Research indicates that caregivers who participate in support groups report less stress, fewer symptoms of depression, and better physical health. Redistribute responsibilities. If you have siblings or other family members, it's time to have a serious conversation about redistributing the load. If they can't provide physical care, maybe they can handle finances, medical bills, scheduling, or hiring help. Everyone contributes differently, but everyone should contribute. Long term solutions. Sometimes burnout is your body and God's way of telling you that your current situation is not sustainable. And that might mean hiring professional in home care, exploring adult day programs, or considering assisted living or memory care placement. It might mean applying for Medicaid or veteran benefits to help cover costs. This is not giving up. This is recognizing that your loved one needs a level of care that requires a team, not just you. I hope families make these decisions all the time across Austin and Central Texas. It's never easy, but sometimes it's necessary for everyone's survival. When to get emergency help. If you're experiencing thoughts of harming yourself or your loved one, severe depression or anxiety that's interfering with daily functioning, complete inability to care for your loved ones safely, or substance abuse that's spiraling out of control, please get help immediately. Call the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Call or text 988. Go to your local emergency room or call a trusted friend, family member, or pastor to stay with you. This is serious. Your life matters. God loves you. Here's the hard truth. If you have already burned out once, you're at risk for burning out again. So let's talk about prevention. Build a sustainable routine. Schedule regular breaks, even if they're small. Protect your sleep like it's sacred. Eat real meals, not just whatever's quick. Move your body, even if it's just a 10-minute walk. Stay connected to at least one or two people outside of caregiving. Maintain your spiritual practices, prayer, Bible reading, worship. Studies show that caregivers who maintain regular self care routines have better physical health, lower stress level, and reduced rates of depression. Check in with yourself regularly. Once a week, ask yourself, how's my sleep? How's my mood? Am I eating okay? Have I seen or talked to a friend recently? Am I feeling resentful or irritable? When's the last time I prayed about something other than mom's health? If the answers are getting worse, that's your early warning signs. Don't wait until you're in crisis. Stay connected to your faith. This journey is hard, really hard, and you need something bigger than yourself to lean on. For me, that's my faith. Even when I'm too tired to pray properly, even when all I can manage to say is, God help, that counts. God knows your heart. He sees your exhaustion. He's not keeping score. The Psalms are filled with cries for help from people who were at the end of their rope. Accept that caregiving seasons change. What works now might not work in 6 months. Your parents' needs will change. Your capacity will change. Be willing to adjust and get more help when you need it. God doesn't call us to do things we're not equipped for without providing resources. Sometimes those resources are other people's hands. Let them help. Remember your why, but not at your expense. You're doing this because you love your parent, because you want to honor them, because you want to do right by them. But they would not want you to destroy yourself in the process. I truly believe that. And I know God doesn't want that either. If you're burned out right now, I see you. God sees you. And neither one of us is disappointed in you. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to need help. You're allowed to say, I can't do this alone anymore. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Caregiving is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it should never cost you your health, your sanity, or your life. Please, if you're struggling, reach out, talk to someone, get help, pray, and then take action because faith without works is dead. If you're navigating caregiving right now, and if you're in Austin, Williamson County, Hayes County, San Marcos, Pflugerville, anywhere in Central Texas, you don't have to figure this out alone. Head to stellawilliamstx.com for caregiver resources, guides, and support. And if you're at that point where you're considering senior living placement, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, that's what we do at Tour Senior Living. Free to families, bilingual, available 24/7, tourseniorliving.org/area.austin, or call me directly, 737-389-2130. Next episode, we're diving into what happens when your own health fails while you're caregiving. Because sometimes a caregiver becomes a patient, and we need to talk about how to handle that. Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Hold on to that, even when you're exhausted, even when you can't see the path. This is Stella. Thank you for listening, and y'all have a blessed day.